What's up, football family? Uh, Getting excited about the Alliance football season starting up. One thing that isn't so exciting, being a Atlanta Legends season ticket holder, uh, hearing about Brad Childress leaving the team. Apparently, it was to spend more time with his family. While I totally understand that family time is much more important than football ever will be, it is disappointing to hear and find out about him leaving in the middle of training camp. It's not really the best way I would think a professional coach would leave a beginning challenge. Now, I don't know how this actually, if this was a Legends thing or an Alliance thing. When I first heard about it, I really assumed Brad Childress was possibly up for some like a offensive coordinator job or something in the NFL. But when I heard that it's not for that, I was a little let down. I was a little surprised. Um, he After being a Falcons fan and after what uh, Petrino did when he just left in the middle of the season, I'm a little shocked for that to happen to another Atlanta team. Um, Granted, this isn't quite as bad. Like they haven't even played the first game yet. I'm sure the team can adjust just fine. This is a little surprising. There were also rumors that Michael Vick was going to leave as being the offensive coordinator, which turned out not to be true, which is good. Um, Except we don't know how good or bad that'll be because we have no idea how good of an offensive coordinator Michael Vick is. As far as I know, he's hasn't done much coaching other than maybe just being a veteran presence on other NFL teams. But how much traditional coaching has he actually done? So that is quite interesting. Hopefully, it still goes well for the Legends, considering we haven't even started the season yet. I think we'll probably be okay. Um, so that's pretty much everything that's going on. It looks like training camps are going strong in San Antonio. We're getting closer. Just are we a month away? I get a month away from kickoff, a little over 30 days. Um, so that's really exciting. The NFL has starting to wane down. I love the NFL. The NFL playoffs are some of the most fantastic football games of the year. As you can hear, my cat probably meowing in the background because I'm not paying attention to him. Um, so the NFC and AFC championship games are this week, but this is when like there's just less football around, but it's some of the best football. So having something that's gonna start up right after the Super Bowl is just exciting and great to have something to look forward to in the off season of football. Uh, Off season. So hopefully it'll still be the on season. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about this week that's been on my mind is the Bo Levi Mitchell situation with the Stampeders and whether or not he's gonna go and try his hand at getting in the NFL. He's, I think, nearly every NFL, like at least half the league in the NFL has did a workout with him just to see how he is doing and what kind of quarterback he could possibly be in the NFL as opposed to CFL. Um, I think they put a ultimatum that he has to decide if he's going to leave for the NFL before free agency starts. So the CFL would know, the Calgary Stampeders would know whether or not they need to find another quarterback to replace him. If he does go to the NFL, that's going to be very interesting on who is going to take the starting job and for the Stampeders next year. If that's the case, like really only three out of the 9 teams have a stable quarterback that they had last year, and one of those 3 is Montreal with Manziel. They're the only ones that they know, like Manziel, um, the Tiger Cats, and probably, well, no, not Toronto because Ricky Ray, Zach Caleros with the Rough Riders probably would be the only teams that know what they're going to be doing next year. So free agency in the CFL is going to be interesting this year. The other news that has come out is in the Arena Football League. They have announced that they're going to have a team in Atlantic City this year. They haven't announced a name or anything like that, but it is expansion. They haven't announced the Cleveland team or the Columbus team, 2 of the teams that are being rumored. I've heard it's probably more going to be the Cleveland team. It's a good thing that the arena football is expanding. I am not sure if expansion for the Arena Football League is necessarily a smart thing. I like the fact that they're leaning more towards smaller markets like Albany last year, and Atlantic City with the test games that they've had for the Soul. That's going to be good. Apparently, Ron Jaworski will be the owner of the Atlantic City team. So it'll be a similar situation to Washington and Baltimore in that league. It's going more to the single ownership strategy that the MLS has done and what some of the other smaller leagues are starting to do. It's good. They haven't announced a broadcast partner or a streaming partner yet, so that's a little it makes me as an arena football fan a little nervous for the league as a whole that they haven't announced any streaming or television partners. I would really hope that they'd have at least a small television partner, but they have to at least have streaming. I did read something today about Monumental Sports Network. They started a streaming service that is also in partnership with DraftKings. That would be quite interesting because I am an avid DraftKings user. I use it for NASCAR and NFL football and sometimes CFL football as well. And it would be quite fun to be able to use the DraftKings app to stream the arena football games while also doing daily fantasy of the arena football. So I hope something like that comes to fruition. I don't necessarily think that a gambling app is the best way to stream a football game to actually cover the league, but it's better than not having anything. Now, that also does seem to be a trend because that's what the Alliance of American Football League has been showing a lot of things that seem that they are moving towards the more betting side of minor league football. Other than that, it's going to be kind of a short one because we're still working our way towards a season getting kicked off. I don't want to talk too much about the NFL on this because they get enough coverage. So I'm going to cut this short. Ho Hopefully, there's more news next week. We'll see what comes out, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Next Monday, I'll be live streaming on YouTube. Please follow me on Instagram, Alternate Football Podcast, YouTube Alternate Football Podcast. Uh, Click like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Email me. Send me a direct message on Instagram. Um, Anything to get involved with the show, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you and have a good night.